walking around the I was walking around the river. That's exactly 10 years ago that I bought my first camera. Hello, my name is Barbora Sýkorová, I'm a photographer, and today I'd like to share with you a little bit more of my experience. I was 13 and we were visiting my grandpa close to Prague at his cottage, and I was walking along the river with our small digital camera that family had, and I started to take pictures of the animals. So I took pictures of a snail, and I was like, wow, I'd like to explore more of this art. I'd like to learn more about photography. And also in that time I was helping my mom in the bookshop where she worked, and for the money I saved and with the help of my mom as well, I was able to buy my first camera. So I bought my own camera that was Nikon D90, and I remember till now the first time I went to take pictures. It was with my best friend Katja, and we went to the forest and just randomly we were taking pictures of each other, and it was just such a lovely time. We had no idea how to use the camera, but like every picture we just saw was like, wow, look at the quality. It was just amazing. In that time I was studying in Landskron. The school should start already in about 3 weeks, and I was looking for photography schools. I always wanted to go to Prague since I was a child. I was just thinking when would be the good time to go to Prague. I wasn't sure if I'm ready enough. I knew that I didn't know much about photography yet. I thought they wouldn't take me to the schools, and I found one school in Prague and it was private, and I just thought like, I can't even mention this at home because I just couldn't imagine that this would be possible. And I was mentioning it to my mom. She was always very supportive, she was always here for me, and she was calling to my grandpa, and he was so excited about it. Basically, so now I remember that feeling when my mom came from the call of my grandpa and she said, you're going to entrance examination in a few days, and if they take you, you will study in Prague. I just couldn't believe that this would be happening, and so basically I think maybe it was like 3 days after that, or like really short time after that, we went to Prague. Remember it till now, it would be like so surreal, so amazing that all this happened and that I had people around me that were supporting me so much and that believed in me. Because some of the people would say like, oh, stay in this school where you are, make the exams here and then go to the university. And I was just like, but what if I don't want to go to the university? What if I will realize that that's just not my way? And I was basically told that in 3 weeks I would study in Prague. And in that time I just started to be like, my goodness, what's happening? Like, it was just such a shock, because even though I wanted to go to Prague a lot, I thought like maybe I could wait 1 more year and then go another year and so on. And I was like, how is it gonna be with the money? Like, can we afford it somehow? First year of being in Prague wasn't so easy. Of course, I didn't know the city. I didn't know anyone here. I was living close to Beroun with my aunt. To go to school and back was 3 hours for me. In school I was mostly with my friends Anička, Cecilia and Megan, and it was a really great time. I think so Anička, it was like really much easier to adapt to the city. From the second year of the high school I lived already in Prague, because finally I could be joining some events in Prague, finally I could go somewhere. So this was like really amazing time. When I was finishing photography, I was just thinking what I want to study. I knew that I loved studying photography, but I didn't want to study more. And Megan introduced me to many Brazilians in Prague, including to my boyfriend. And like this I started to be interested in learning Portuguese. Even before I finished photography, I was taking some private lessons of Portuguese, and I felt really miserable about the feeling like, what do I want to study? Do I even want to go to the university? I was thinking about so many courses. I was even thinking about economics and courses like this. And then my friend Janeta that I was living with in that time, she said well, why don't you study languages if you like languages? And I thought but I speak just English and not even well. This is not the level they want at the university. And but I started to think about it. I thought I would give it a chance, and I went to Charles University to see the course of English, and I just knew it's not my path. I didn't have a good feeling about it, and by coincidence I just decided to go around and see other courses when I was there already. And there was a course of Portuguese, of Luso-Brazilian studies. And I had such an amazing feeling about it. I really liked the atmosphere there, and I knew that this is where I want to be. I'm currently studying the Ibero-American studies, that is kind of more focused on the Spanish-speaking countries in Latin America. And it's also very interesting. Mostly I take pictures of people nowadays. I take pictures of portraits, families, weddings, babies, whatever you imagine. And nowadays I even take pictures of flowers that I really like. I was also taking pictures to some books that I came here to show you. So if you buy this amazing book from Tomáš Šebek, there's in the other side there's my picture of Tomáš, so I'm very happy for this. And then there is another book of the band the Tap Tap, and I could work with these people thanks to nakladatelství Paseka, the publishing house Paseka. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I've also taken pictures of many weddings. That was also a lovely job. I really like also the feeling I always meet the couple before. I even sometimes take pictures of them before, so we experience working together, and then they feel more comfortable that there's a photographer taking pictures of them, because it's not for everyone that it's natural, right? And it's much more comfortable during a wedding day that can be very stressful to work with a photographer that you've met already and that you have a good feeling about. So during the time I also started to take pictures of nature. Mostly these pictures are from Brazil, and I remember the second year I was studying the Luso-Brazilian studies, I started to talk to my friend Maida, and she went with me to Brazil for 9 weeks. Then I even had three presentations about my trips to Brazil.
Můžete jíst, můžete spát a můžete koukat z okna. A jste furt unavený. Takhle to třeba může vypadat hrozně líbezně a jsou to právě takové fotky, které potom uvidíte na internetu. Ale asi by vám nikdo neukázal, že nakonec budete bydlet v něčem, co vypadá takhle.
Hopefully there will be another presentation after all this is over. Some models that took pictures with me definitely know that when I have some idea, I really want to make it. So sometimes it can happen that I would have some idea, oh, let's do this crazy makeup, and then you end up completely white, as happened with my friend Sashka. Or that I would say, oh, I want to take pictures of something, but I'm not sure what yet, so come here and we will think about it. And then also can happen different ways. So sometimes I like to think about it a lot, and sometimes I like to do it spontaneously. During these years I was also dancing for a while, and I've thanks to meeting the community, I've taken pictures of many dance teachers. That's also exciting for me, because that's also a different style of a different type of thinking. I don't think that you can say oh, she's fat so she's not nice. No, I believe that people of every body every body type is beautiful, and I don't believe that you can't make anyone nice on the picture. I think that it's just, if you're not nice on the picture, I think it's just the fault of the photographer. I think it's because the photographer didn't make you feel well, and the photographer didn't know how to communicate, and the photographer didn't find the right angle. So I believe that everyone can look beautiful on the pictures, and that everyone deserves to feel beautiful.
So I really like to take pictures in my studio here, where I can also do the drink, or I can prepare some nice drink, I can do the makeup and then take some pictures. I still prefer to take pictures outside because I feel like it's beautiful to work in the space. I think I have like two parts of photography, or two views on photography. According to me, there are photos that are like the realistic ones, these that people feel beautiful and you want them to feel great and natural. But then there's also this part of photography that is like a character, like you're playing a character, like you would be actor or actress. That mostly when I take pictures of self-portraits, that's for me the character. I get some thought in my mind and I just want to show it on the picture. It can have many meanings to me. I don't feel like I need to explain what it represents for me. So there can be many crazy ideas, and I think what is important to know is that when you look in these pictures, it doesn't need to show my personality. It shows my creativity, it shows what I got as an idea, but it doesn't need to say really who I am. It's not like, wow, she takes this sexy picture, so she's looking for someone. Or it's not like, oh, she's looking angry, so she's aggressive or egoistic or something. It's just like you see some place, for example. It's the same with people. Like when I took the pictures of the boy in Brazil that I really like till now, I thought like, wow, with this nature, with the sand, with the water, it would just be so beautiful if he was naked. And I don't normally take pictures of naked people, but to that place, to that specific place, it was fitting well, and it seemed to be great. And I had these pictures in my mind, and I just thought, really, this is the way.
Sometimes I was working during the day and then in the evenings as well, that I just couldn't handle anymore. I just wanted also to have some personal life and to do something else as well. Like, oh, you have a great life, you just take pictures and so on, but you need to find people to take pictures of. It's a lot of work. If you want people to look great on pictures, if you want them to call you again, you need to talk to them very well. Sometimes it can be quite hard to work alone. Sometimes you just also need some support. I've always had support from my mom. I always had support from my friends. And from my boyfriend. There was a friend that was very supportive. Like, was an amazing friend. Like, she was called Monica, and she was just an amazing person. It was amazing because I was in my 20s and she was getting 50, and everyone was thinking like, oh, what do you two talk about? Why do you meet? Because we always met in a cafe and we spent hours and hours talking. Even now when I imagine her words, it just makes me so happy. Because many times I took pictures of her and she was just so happy. I could see that my pictures of her make her feel good. So in this point I realized like, well, photography can also work somehow as a therapy for people that need also some support. They need to feel better. Because always when they look in the pictures they see how beautiful they are, and it can really make them feel beautiful. She was always so supportive, and she was just repeating all the time like, wow, look at these pictures, like they're so amazing, and like, Bara, you need to do this, like you need to go after your dreams. And I can't even describe how much she was supporting me, but it was really a lovely person. Of course there were more people that that I've lost during the years, but I think this person had like really great influence on me. She was really supportive. Like thanks to her, I could really have that feeling that I'll be able to get anywhere, and I could talk to her about anything, and it was just so, you know, that kind of person that you see and she's just laughing all the time, smiling. You can really see an amazing person. You feel really great with the person and you have so much to talk about. And unfortunately this person is not here anymore. Yeah, so these 10 years have brought so many things, so many changes, and I remember when I was smaller and I would just be thinking all the time like, wow, what will I do when I grow up, and in general I was like so worried about my future, and I'm happy that this completely disappeared. I've always liked to plan a lot, and as I like to plan a lot, I maybe didn't see other opportunities, and once I gave this attitude up and I decided to live in presence, I decided to feel like, how can I think what I will do? How can I know what I would do in a few years? You never know who you meet, you never know what you will start to like, you never know what you'll try new and you'll get excited about it. So a few years ago I would definitely not think I would be even able to speak in English and film this video in English. I would definitely not think that I would learn Portuguese and that I would be able to teach Portuguese. I never thought I would learn some basic how to film videos.
What does make you perfect? Beauty is not about how you look like. It is about how you feel.
Dobrý den, já vás vítám u dalšího doprovodného programu od kina Brazil. Se mnou je tady obchodník, cestovatel, autor webu Toto.cz a autor 2 knížek Obchodníkem po Latinské Americe a Brazílie návod k použití, Pavel Šembera. Tak dobrý den, já vás vítám u dalšího doprovodného programu kina Brazil. Se mnou je tady hudebník, cestovatel a průvodce Milan Tichý. Dobrý den.
Zdravím vás.
And even I would never think I would start helping someone with interior design. I always liked places, I loved design, I loved helping people. I think it's not even important to think like what profession people want to do when they grow up. I think it's important kind of to think like what you like in a way, like do you like to work with people, do you like to help people, do you like to work alone, and so like I realized that whatever I do, I love there the feeling that I can help to someone. So I know that whatever job I would ever do, what I would ever end up to do, and it will always have this feeling that I want to help someone to grow, to feel beautiful, and to feel happy with themselves. There's also this kind of problem, I would say, in the services in general, that people just feel like, wow, why is some service so expensive? Because they feel like, oh, for example, in the photographer, they would feel like, oh, you just press the button and you have the photo. But, well, it doesn't work like this. I needed to study a lot. It was everything very expensive. I bought 3 cameras, I bought many lenses, all the technology, all the equipment I have was definitely more than 200,000, and all the knowledge I've gained and everything I've spent, I just can't have the same price as someone that has the technique for 10,000. People don't think a lot that I get paid just when I take pictures of someone, but then no one pays me to sit at the computer and answer the emails. Of course you need to edit the pictures as well, so it's not just the time that I'm with the client, but then I need to take another time to edit the pictures, so for that I need to pay another program. The 10 years ago I didn't charge anything, or I was just charging 100 crowns or 200 crowns, and suddenly I have common prices. And also, like, one thing that I was writing an article about a long time ago was about what is it psychologically that we just think that our friends will work for us for free, but we don't mind to give the money to strangers. Friends should help, but if I should take pictures of everyone for free, like considering how many people I know, then I would just end up taking pictures of these people for free. So I think that during these 10 years I've learned a lot. Definitely gave me so much experience. I think I'm just a completely different person than I was 10 years ago. I think I'm not worried, for example, to speak in English now. I don't mind that I do some mistakes. I think that everything is part of the process, and that of course we need to speak in order to get better. And the same we need to work in order to get better. I think photography is very difficult to judge because it's also part of art. Like, for example, there was some picture that I took pictures of my friend Julka that in a beautiful red coat in not very nice place in nature, and there was one teacher that asked, like, what does it have to do, like, why do you give her this coat and take picture of her in this horrible place? I said, like, I love it. I just love the contrast. I love everything about it. I like the pose. I like like, sometimes you can't feel like someone is not supporting you enough, or some teacher tells you that the photography or your work or the thesis or whatever is not good enough. It may be just really their opinion, and it happened so many times that you had someone that was not so successful at school, for example, but then happened that he became the most famous and most influential person. So I wouldn't be worried about this anymore either. Yeah, so like everything we do is moving us forward. We shouldn't be worried about anything. And I hope that soon the situation will get better so we can see each other again, and that we can celebrate this 10 years. And I hope that another 10 years will be even better. Thank you so much for your support, for being here for me, for choosing me as your photographer, and I hope to see you soon.